Hey everybody, Jen Canodal here with Latinos for America, and I do have my very good friend Annabelle Campos here.
Hi.
Welcome, Annabelle. Annabelle and I met at Gateway Church. We went through a Bible study together, so yeah, we did become fast friends.
Yes.
Yeah, and I just, I think she's such a great Latina role model. Obviously, she's beautiful, she's fit, she cares about her health, she has an awesome relationship with God, and, just working it. And turns out Annabelle is one of the few people that are actually from Austin, like myself. Not too many of us. You went to high school where?
At Del Valley. I was born and raised in Austin and have been here most of my life. Went to school at UT and then left for about a year and a half to do my internship in Corpus Christi, but otherwise have been here most of my life.
And came back to the ATX, and she's
Yes.
seen it change a lot, no doubt.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you speak Spanish?
I do.
She speaks Spanish. Now, how did you get to where you spoke Spanish? They spoke it in the home?
Yes, my dad spoke Spanish fluently. Both of my grandparents, I should say, only spoke Spanish. So in order to communicate with them, we had to learn Spanish. And so my dad really encouraged it and only spoke Spanish to us at home so that we would be fluent in it too.
Yeah, that's interesting. The question that I want to ask you that a lot of us experienced is some of our elders, I don't know what they would be called, but they did not teach us Spanish. So was there any conversation about not speaking Spanish or not speaking English? Because I think a lot of us that grew up third generation, we're both third generation, we either weren't given the opportunity to speak Spanish or were told don't speak Spanish to assimilate. So how was that different?
Yeah, I think for me it was very different. My dad really wanted us to know Spanish, and again, with my grandparents, we were super close to them. They all lived in Austin, and so when we would go over to visit, they would speak to us in Spanish, and so
awesome.
we loved them and were close with them, so we wanted to be able to speak their language.
Yeah.
Even though English for us was our first language,
Okay.
my dad really wanted us to be able to speak Spanish fluently.
And how has that helped you? How has speaking Spanish helped you?
Well, I feel like as far as my career, I work and live in a community that there are a lot of Latinos. Most of my clients speak Spanish. I work in buildings in San Marcos, and I've been in San Antonio for a little while, and so a lot of my clients speak Spanish, and so a lot of times I'll have to translate for clinicians or practitioners who don't speak Spanish, just because in order to get some key information from them, you have to speak their language.
Yeah.
So it's definitely helped.
Yeah.
And I know when I was first looking for a job right out of college, that was a way that I could negotiate a higher salary because I was bilingual.
Yeah.
So I really used that to my advantage when I was negotiating salary in acute care hospitals.
Yeah, I can see how valuable it is now. But probably being immersed in it, and I keep trying to learn it in little bursts, through this app or that program or whatever, and it's not working so far, but I'm not going to give up. So, going to school and college and graduating, how were some of the values that your parents gave you? How do you think they're shaping your life now as a young single adult?
Well, neither of my parents went to college. My dad was in the military for 30 plus years, and my mom was a stay-at-home mom. So she was a real stay-at-home mom where she did not work outside of the house, and it was that was her role, was a stay-at-home mom. But they really wanted us to go to college, and school was the main focus, and getting really great grades. We were given incentives to get good grades,
Oh yeah, showbiz.
So they really, encouraged and made it clear that college was going to be our next step.
Yeah.
So
Do you remember that? It was like Chuck E. Cheese or showbiz. You got tokens for a good report card.
for good grades.
I'm just now remembering that.
We also
Yeah.
got money. Like we would get,
Oh, yeah.
$5 for A's and $1 for B's, and
Oh, that's a
it
big
was-
drop.
Yeah. So you wanted to make A's.
Yeah, you do. You did want to make A's, and plus you get that little green ribbon or the bumper sticker that your
Yes.
parents put on the back of the car.
Yes.
What advice do you have for younger Latinas that are we're having a lot of issues with the economy now. I think there's just kind of a lot of confusion politically. Also, we talked a little bit earlier about just some interesting aspects, some inner tension within the Latino community, and maybe sometimes because it is often we try to group it as one group, and there's so much diversity. As you can see, we just grew up a few miles away and had a totally different experience. So.
Yeah, I would say that it's absolutely very important to get a college education, regardless of what your passion or your field or your goals are. I think it's really important. Even having a bachelor's degree today is kind of the minimum. You're now expected to have a graduate degree, a master's or a PhD in your area of study. So I would say that having a college education is very important. That was stressed to me growing up, and I feel like I'm thankful for that now. And that even though it's tough at times and you may not see the immediate rewards, that it's definitely a valuable asset to have.
Yeah.
So,
well, they can't ever take your education away from you. That's what my mom always said.
Yeah.
Can't take your education away. You can take away that piece of paper. I don't even know where my piece of paper is, but you can't take away all those years. I definitely want you. Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you want to share with everyone?
Well, I know, Jen, you and I talked a little bit about how just in our own culture and in our own experiences, we've experienced just whether we feel like, being a Latina, you may feel like you're treated one way if you're not knowledgeable enough in your culture or speaking Spanish, and then you may be treated another way if you do. I feel like as Latinos, we need to be very supportive of each other and encourage each other regardless of our knowledge or our language, that we just need to encourage and support each other, because I think that we just don't have enough of that, versus being critical or judging others based on their language or their lack of knowledge of the
or
Mexican
their job
or the Latino culture. Yeah,
right.
Or their job. Yeah,
or
absolutely.
Or their legal status. I mean, we're really
Yes.
called to treat everyone equal and super be supportive to each other. We were just discussing earlier that another one of the gals that I interviewed was saying that she was having conversations with people in Hollywood, and they were saying, Latinos should vote with their dollars then. If you want more content, if you want to support that community, vote with your dollars. That's what my dad always says.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
I agree with that.
I will definitely link to Annabelle and all her information. She's got some really cool things going on. Knows all about nutrition. Has a skincare line that she recommends. So I will make sure that I link all that, and you can find her and follow her online. And if you live in Austin, maybe you could follow her in real life. I don't know. Not too close, because that's creepy. But anyway, I just thank you so much. Such a delightful person. And that is it. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time.